Hi, everybody. It's Craig from Doc Sports, and we're back with Doc's Daily. And as you see, we're all back in one piece from Vegas, and it was an absolute whirlwind of a week. One day when it's not a busy day in sports, which is sort of a busy day in sports because there is some opening day games even today in Major League Baseball. I want to get to them, but we'll go over some of what happened in Vegas. So if you didn't check it out, make sure you check out our YouTube channel or any of our socials we shared. We had an absolute ridiculous night at Stadium Swim, had a big one. So make sure you check out that little video. Hit that like and subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on all the things we have going on. We did some studio work last week. You saw some of it, kind of testing out maybe what we're going to do in the future. We also, met with the boss and everybody and these guys and talked about what we're going to be doing here at YouTube. So if you like and subscribe, you won't miss out on all that we have planned on it. But let's, before we get to that though, don't forget. So I don't forget, you can get that free 60, go to docsports.com/free60, get a $60 account for free for all new users. Now, if you're an existing user, and we didn't leave you out as well, you go to the grid and get in on top plays today. I got a 10% off code. It's APR10. So it's going to use this all week long. APR10 will save you 10% off. If you can put that up on as a lower third, I'd appreciate it. We can get it. Remind them later. But guys, what a week in Vegas. Now we're back home. There it is. There's 10% off code. Nick, how was your weekend as far as your picks? I'm sorry. Usually I'd stay up on everybody's picks. But how was your weekend?
Tornado. Still recovering here from that Vegas trip, but the weekend was good. Had Houston there on what was that, Sunday or Saturday? And then baseball off to a hot start here in baseball. We're 4-2 in our last 6 plays. We hit our 5-unit. Kansas City Royals got the job done. We're coming back today with a 3-pack, and I'm locked and loaded across all sports. I have a 2-pack in the NBA, 2-pack in NHL. So we're locked and loaded. New week, new goals here. So the week is looking really good. We got MLB baseball back, Craig. So I'm all jacked up.
Someone's asking about the Crown tournament tonight. We will talk about that briefly. So just stay tuned. Rodney Ferguson will stay tuned on that. Griffin, how did your weekend end up? All 4 number 1 seeds. So I hope everybody was playing a little chalk. How did your weekend end up? And what do you got today?
Yesterday was a bad day. I had a 7-unit in NHL. I actually went 3-1 on the day, and I lost my 7-unit best bet on Ottawa. Are you kidding me? A 1-0 score to Pittsburgh. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm still on a $3,000 plus run when it comes to NHL. I have 4 plays on deck on the ice tonight. NBA currently on a $4,500 run. I have 4 plays on the NBA card as well. And then MLB right now, I have 5 plays out. NBA or MLB, I am very aggressive. I have very high volume. I do a lot of first 5 innings. I do a lot of alternative run lines. I have a lot of sneaky bets. I play very sharp in the MLB. So I have 5 plays on deck there. Passed in soccer today. Props, I have 2 props out today, an MLB prop as well as a NBA prop. Currently on a $3,400 run across my props as well. And MMA, just so anybody, if you're sleeping, in my lifetime cards, I'm currently 19-8. Again, another SmackDown weekend for plus 1,200. I'm on a $10,950 run across my MMA selections. Or that's lifetime. That is my lifetime profit. So Craig, right now, steamrolling across all sports. Bad day yesterday. Bounce back day today. I'm ready. I'm fired up, my man.
All right, so I do have a 7-unit play in NHL tonight. You know, if you guys follow me, I don't, like 2 to 3 NHL plays all week long. So it's usually 1 6 or 7 unit. So it goes tonight. I really like this one. Let's get it home. I think I'm on the opposite of these guys. I'm very low volume, especially the first month of Major League Baseball season. I'm like, I'm reading about these torpedo bats now. I'm like, dude, what in the F is going on in baseball? But we'll get to baseball first. Let's talk NBA, or we'll get to that second. We'll talk NBA first because the NBA has I think 8 games left per team. So we're kind of coming to the end. It's kind of melodramatic this year because the leads are so big. Like last year, if you remember the Western Conference, the last week of the season determined who had the 1, 2, and 3 seeds. So not that way this year. The Thunder are going to end up the number 1 seed. The Cavaliers and Celtics have secured basically the number 1 and 2 seeds. But that doesn't mean we still can't make money because that's why they have spreads. So even though the spreads are humongous, some of these games, that's the great equalizer in betting is that you can find value pretty much any day of the year. let's kick it off. Let's go Griffin this time. Griffin, you kick us off in the NBA. What do you like here? It's danger time last week of the season. So let's enter the danger zone here.
Yeah, let's do it, Craig. And let's talk about this Clippers Orlando Magic team. And this is briefly just based off the line. The Clippers are laying 2.5 points against Orlando. Orlando's 7-3 in their last 10 games, and they are coming off a loss. But this is a motivational factor game. The Orlando right now, they're kind of secured in the East. They need to win a few more games, and they will clinch playoff berth. Clippers, same scenario. They're 8th in the West, and they're really fighting right now. So this is a type of game where you look at it and you have to ask, where's the motivational factor and who is that going to benefit? Well, the Clippers, they've been brutal on the road all season long with a record of 17-21. I have this record pulled up right in front of me right now. They have not been good on the road whatsoever. Orlando, on the other hand, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games, and they're coming off a win. The public herd is going to be all over the Clippers tonight because they're in must-win situation from here on out. Being in the West, toughest conference in NBA by far. East, not so much. Orlando at home getting points. Give me Orlando on this. I smell a trap game in this matchup. I think the herd's going to be all over the Clippers in this game, as they have proven to be the much better team game in, game out with a 42-32 record. So I'm on the Magic in this one, Craig. I'm smelling a trap game here. I like them even on the money line here at a +130 odds. So give me the Magic here, Craig.
Well, the interesting thing about the West is from the Grizzlies to the Suns, it's only 8.5 games. Believe it or not, as good as the Warriors were playing, the Warriors are only a half a game out from playing in the play-in tournament. The Clippers, basically, they're 1 game out. So it's like it's really that loss yesterday. The Clippers put a lot into that loss at the Cavaliers yesterday. Kind of worries me a little bit, just because you kind of lay it out there sometimes, especially an older team. And now you look at the Magic. Let's go look at the Magic. They're in the standings. I mean, I don't think they really can do much here. They can get up to the 7th seed, but they really can't, unless the Bulls or Heat basically went out, they can't get out of that. So it's like, I don't know what is really intense about it. So that's why everybody's going to be on the Clippers. That game always worries me this time of the year because
motivational factors, usually it's on. It's too much pressure.
Yeah, it's like, especially you could win the game and lose for us because they're a couple points though. It's like, oh, what if it comes down to the end? So it just always makes me worried. I almost trying to stay away from those games where it's like, unless both teams, like if both teams have to win to like they're going to get in and out. Now that's like the motivation's the same. Like when one team's on it and one team's not, that always worries me. So Nick, I got your name right. I only messed it up like twice in Vegas, by the way. And we were drinking and having a great time. So you would have thought I would have messed it up a lot more. But Nick,
let's talk about
on his A game, especially at the craps table. Come on.
He's drinking with Javi Baez. I see it on Twitter and shit. Like, I mean, what the freak?
Javi, shout out to my shortstop 2016 there. But let's talk about the Thunder buddies. Like you said, Craig, they are first here in the Western Conference. Chicago Bulls play the Thunder. They go to OKC. The Thunder are laying a hefty number, 15.5 here. The Bulls, they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. They just lost to the Dallas Mavericks by 1 point in their last game. I think it was 120-119 there. This OKC Thunder, they're on a 9-game winning streak. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. Josh Giddey is a game-time decision. I expect him to be in the lineup here tonight. This OKC Thunder team's no joke, obviously, at home. They're 32-5. I'm not saying the Bulls are going to win this game outright, even though I would sprinkle a little pizza money on it, but I do believe they will cover this high spread because the Thunder, they already locked up that 1 seed. The Bulls got to keep on keeping it on. I would take the Chicago Bulls plus 15.5 here in OKC tonight, Craig.
Yeah, this is the first game back for Josh Giddey, right? Like first game back to the Thunder after they they completely blamed their loss in the playoffs to this dude and sent him out of town. I mean, you're talking about a high prospect like in their organization that they thought were going to take. And then because he didn't have a great, let's be honest, he did not have a great playoffs. He wouldn't shoot from 3. It was almost like the Ben Simmons thing, but he's rebuilt his career, and not only rebuilt it, like we were in Vegas. I mean, dude, like his PRA, as I call him, his points, rebounds, assists, he was going over every game. And tonight, his points is over 18.5. His points, rebounds is 27.5. I'm like, dude, lay this number. He's going over on all of them tonight. Like, I think he is like, hey, you remember me? You blamed me for everything. Like, I do like him too. I wrote it up last night. Bulls plus, I had it 14.5. I like him. I like him a lot tonight. I think the Thunder, they don't have anything to play for. Like the Bulls actually do have something to play for. If they continue to win, they will at least host the game against the Heat because they're tied right now. So they need to win, put some wins together here for the Bulls. I like the Bulls in that one. Last play for me as a free play, Heat Wizards. The Heat had, I kind of wrote them off, to be very honest. They what was it like? They were 1-9. Like once they had that trade,
I kind of thought they were laying 8.5 to somebody.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden it's like they turned it around.
Yeah,
and I like the Heat tonight. The Wizards, they are absolutely trying to lose every game. They are not playing anybody. There's like, oh yeah, you got a hangnail, you're out. You're out. Bring up another G League guy. It's like, just say you're going to start your G League team at this point of the season. Give me the Heat minus 8.5. I know it's a lot from a team that had struggled a week ago, but look what they've done lately. They've kind of put things together, and yes, it's been against some bad teams. That's just this part of the NBA season. You're going to face some bad teams with guys like the Sixers. They're not playing anybody. So let's lay the Heat here minus 8.5. Now let's get to the Major League Baseball because I think there's some interesting games today. Remember, I think is there 2 opening game days today? It's 2, I think.
I'm not sure. I thought everybody played already.
So.
No, there's no. Because Thursday was, no one's played opening day. Everybody was on the road. So now play opening day this week. Cleveland doesn't play their opening day for another week. They're on the road for 2 straight weeks.
Oh, at home.
Oh, you're talking about at home.
Opening day.
I was like, wait, hold on.
No. They're home opener. Home opener. I made a mistake.
Okay,
Home opener. And
I missed something.
Is it Cleveland and Detroit? They don't play for 10 days at home because they were worried about weather.
Guardians
which makes
are on
sense.
the road for the next 2 series. Yep.
So absolutely brutal. You're talking 2 teams that, people think are going to do pretty well this year, and you have to go on the road for a week and a half to 2 weeks. But that's what happens when you open the season earlier and you don't have a dome. The baseball gods are like, let's don't risk it. Is there one of these opening day games that go early today that you like, maybe, Nick?
Not opening day because the Seattle. I'm talking about the Seattle Mariners.
I keep saying opening day. It's opening home game. Your home opener. Home opener. That's what I'm looking for.
Seattle already played at home, but let's look at Detroit Tigers. They're going to Seattle here. Tigers, they got a bad draw. They had LA Dodgers. They were the first series. They got swept. It was the ring ceremony. I was actually at that opening day on Thursday, and they just couldn't get the job done. But the Mariners, they split the series 2-2 against the Athletics there. And the question for the Seattle Mariners team, even last year, was their run production. Can the run production increase, especially in this year? Their pitching staff is one of the best from last year, carried on over, I believe, will be a strong pitching staff and a strong core. But their offensive run production, again, is going to be the question this year. They're averaging right now 2 runs per game. That is not going to cut it here. While the Detroit Tigers, they're averaging 4 runs per game. I look for these Detroit Tigers to take advantage here of the offensive production that has not been what's good whatsoever for the Seattle Mariners team. I think the Tigers jump on the Seattle Mariners early. I would take the Tigers here first 5 innings. Like I said, the Tigers still have not won a game this year. They're hungry for that first win of the season. So I would take the Tigers to come out hot here against the Seattle Mariners in the first 5 innings, Craig.
I don't know if we should allow Griffin. He should be suspended because he's a White Sox fan with the Yankees hat on their home opener day. What kind of fan?
No, we've been home for 3 days, Craig. We've been home for 3 days, and we got one. We got one.
You got opening day, right?
We did. We got one. But shame me for the Yankees hat. I got a hat for every single damn team. Today it was the Yankees.
And the Yankees have the torpedo bats, right?
They do.
That's the only team that we think have
20 runs in their first game.
13
how long? Nick, how long before every player in baseball has a torpedo bat? It's every player.
If it's legal, I think every player is going to have that torpedo bat. But if it's not legal, then they're going to all get rid of it. We'll see, what happens.
It was an MIT guy that it's their catcher, right? Voigt, he kept breaking his bats. And they brought an MIT, genius, basically, let's be honest. And they said, hey, we want to basically be able to put a bigger sweet spot in the bat so he doesn't break the bats as much. And now it's equaled Boom! Home runs off
13
home runs.
home runs.
What about
in 3
Judge?
games.
Judge just hit 4 bombs. Nick, was it 4 bombs in the last game?
Judge says he's not using the torpedo bat, but I don't know if I believe him after what he did.
Right. Give me a break.
13 home runs though. That is ridiculous. 13 on opening day there.
15. They have 15 right now. It's the record right now. Them, the Dodgers, and the Tigers back in, I want to say like 91. Or the Tigers had 13. Right now, they are leading for the most home runs in a first single series right now at 15.
I saw a tweet that Aaron Judge is on pace to have like 308 home runs this year. Ridiculous.
We're getting back to the juice now. Now we're getting the Mark McGwire out here.
They're going to say either this is going to be illegal immediately or every player in baseball will have a torpedo bat by tomorrow. Like, it's going to be like, I mean, the manufacturer might not be able to get them out that quick, but it's going to be quickly because I don't know if you guys heard it. Someone on Twitter put them together. The sound off the bat was like, everyone was like, and you're like, I mean, you get one of those a game, a no doubter, and you're like, yep, that one's gone. I mean, it was like everyone was like, sounded like the sweet spot. And so it's crazy. Anyway, Griffin, give us a winner.
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. Let's talk about this Texas Rangers Cincinnati Reds series. So the Reds just dropped 2 of 3 in their home opener to the Giants in their most recent matchup.
All over my team. I see how you do it.
And the Giants, man, I got to say, they made some really good pickups. Their biggest lack all season long last year was offensively. This team was hitting like 210 to 215 on average pace every single month. So they made some big moves. I want to say they picked up Willy Adames, which was absolute huge from the Brewers, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a huge plus in that lineup. But looking at this game right now, watching the Rangers, I mean, they are loaded with power. I mean, you've got Adolis Garcia, you've got Langford, bunch of guys in that lineup that just hit absolute nukes. But right now in this matchup, you've got Brady Singer getting his first start for the Cincinnati Reds. Singer came over from the Royals, and he had a season last year where he was okay, but the Royals were solid. This Brady Singer, he is now a veteran. He had 170 strikeouts last season and just 30 walks. So walks are minimal to this guy. He does not let anybody on base. And then for the Texas Rangers in this matchup, they've got Kumar Rocker coming out. This guy has 3 major league starts his entire career. So you can expect, you best believe he's going to have early game jitters coming into this matchup, rolling into Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a team that can score on you early. They're not going to score a lot of runs, but they're fast on the bases and they have the power to hit the long ball. So I'm going to back up here on the first 5 innings. Brady Singer, as I expect him to come out with this new trade, brand new Reds uniform, ready to go. I think he's going to come out stout in this matchup against this Texas Rangers team. And I would like to see the Reds stack on 2 to 3 runs early in this game because they're not afraid to swipe bags early. They get on early in the game, they're going to swipe second base and look for that base knock. If not, they do have home run power in that lineup. With the loss of Votto is gone, retirement, cap off. What a career that guy had. But on top of that, with all of it being said, give me the Reds in this game, first 5 innings as a sneaky bet attack play, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, for people that don't know, I'm from Cincinnati, follow Cincinnati, all the Cincinnati sports, hate Xavier, but I still follow him. But I don't know. There was a lot of excitement in Cincinnati. I'm like kind of because they were like, I always thought we had a weakness in our bullpen a little bit. They had a weakness. They don't get on base a lot. Like the way they're as fast as they are, if they could get on base, dude, this team would be a monster. But they don't get on base enough, in my opinion. And they needed a bottom end starter, and Singer gave him that. Now it may be, he's going to be their 3rd or 4th starter. And to me, that just, that allows people to be, and I always say to pitch.
Big loss for the Reds too is Jonathan India. He went on that trade with Brady Singer. So
no, but they were willing to he was rumors that he was going to be gone at the trade deadline because he kind of didn't have a spot. You know what I mean? Like they have all these young guys, and India had that great rookie year. So he was a guy they were looking. He had a down year last year, so it was a guy they were trying to get rid of. So it just allows their young players to play more. Now that doesn't always work because young guys, they're up and down and all around. Yeah. I mean, how Dela Cruz does, that's going to be their year. If that dude can get on base a little more, it allows everybody to have less pressure. So
athlete.
Yeah, I mean, athletically, like there's, it's kind of like trying to think who the Reds had. Oh, Eric Davis, way back before you guys were born. The last time they won the World Series. He was the first. Jim Bowden, if you guys follow, he was the GM. He basically coined the 5-tool, player, and Ken Griffey Jr. Him, and it's like he went out and just got players like that. Now you don't hear that as much because you got the DL and everything, so it's like you can always find a spot for a guy. But I think the Reds are going to be a middle year. I think if the Reds finish 500 this year, it's a good positive year.
Agreed.
Obviously, new manager. I hated the Bell got cut because I played against him in high school, and he's a legend. All the Bell family's legend. Moeller High School, Cincinnati. But I think they needed a veteran, and Frank Cora gives them that. So we'll see. We'll see. The Braves. Someone wants to know about the Braves here. Do you guys have an opinion on the Braves game?
Yeah, I can cover that one for sure. And that we got Tyler Glass now on the bump for the Braves tonight. I mean, this guy is an absolute gunslinger. His curveball, his breaking ball, his sweeper, whatever you guys want to call it. The Major League Baseball keeps changing the damn name. It's called a curveball, by the way. This guy's breaking ball is absolutely sensational, and he throws absolute heat. Right now, Atlanta just got swept 0-4 to lose their season opener. They got absolutely pounded by San Diego. And San Diego, that is a team to watch out for, ladies and gentlemen. Last year, they had all the star power in the world, but just could not figure out a way to put it all together and start winning games towards the end of the season when they went on like a 10, 15-game winning tear. Well, they're doing it right now. They just cleaned up Atlanta. Los Angeles, on the other hand, you're playing at Dodger Stadium tonight. Grant Holmes is getting the start for the Braves. He's coming from a trade from the Athletics. And Grant Holmes is a guy who he's consistent and he has good stuff. But going into Dodger Stadium, opening up, last time these two teams played each other, the Dodgers took them in a 9-0 final, and the Dodgers are by far the best team in baseball right now. I mean, you've got Mookie, you've got Ohtani, you've got Freddie. I can go down the list with the power of this team. Until the Braves can put one in the win column, you got to keep drilling against them. So take the Dodgers here on the run line. Dodgers are 5-0 to start the season, playing better than anybody right now, and they're just scoring runs repeatedly. They're doing everything right as a team, and you've got Glass now, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Take the Dodgers here on the run line. Even though it seems like a trap bet, it's the right play to play.
Yeah, I don't know about my superpower KMM, but I can handle my alcohol. Let's just say that. I don't know if I was partying with you this past week in Vegas, but I had my fair share of people that I met in Vegas.
Talk to Nick about that one.
Thanks for being accommodating to have all of us boys out there. Hey, now, but I will say, listen, here is as a bettor and as a handicapper, when you're playing Dodgers games, you have to be creative on how you play them, because you can't just, if you lay money line every game, I guarantee at the end of the year, no matter how great they are, they could win 105 games. You won't be profitable. You want to know why? Because at the end of the year, they're going to be minus 400, minus 380, and they probably won't be profitable on the minus 1.5, because usually the best teams aren't profitable on either of those. They get priced out.
If they're playing night games, they went 70-31 last year, something along those lines, and hit 265 as a team during night games. So ride them on night games at home.
Right, but you can't ride them on the money line because the price is too much.
Never.
To me, I always say, and I don't know about you guys, I'll give you guys a chance to answer, but minus 170s, that's it for every sport for me. No, I'm not laying any more minus 170. That goes with the price on anything. So if it's minus 170 as a prop, I'm not laying that. If it's minus 170, no matter what, no matter a prop, player prop, boxing, no matter what, to me, you got to be creative. And when I mean creative, now you can play first 5 minus a half a run. You can play the totals. You can play, if you have to, minus 2.5. If you really think there's going to be a blowout, now you lay minus 2.5. You get them at, say, plus 105, plus 110. Yeah. So you have to be creative when you're fine. And that goes for any really good team. The Dodgers, Yankees of old, it doesn't really matter what team it is. Just be creative. And sometimes you just have to not play the game, to be very honest, because the price is. And Nick, I think we talked. I think you're minus 160s, right? On your stop.
Yeah, that's my ceiling right there is minus 160. And you gotta look, especially with Major League Baseball. I love to attack people like a Tyler Glass now and looking at the opposite side, seeing how he did in his last 2 to 3 games and take the other side in the first 5 innings. Yeah. Because early on in the season they're going to have slip ups here. They have to get back into their rhythm, and it takes some time. So these early lines and these favorable odds on the dogs, I look to attack early on in the season here, Craig.
Yeah. What's your limit Griffin, I didn't ask you this week. I meant to.
It goes by sport, Craig, but I want to tap up on what Nick just mentioned as well. Early on in the season, as you just mentioned, Craig, you don't like high volume during, I would say, you said the first month. I'm kind of the first 2 weeks, but what I really like to attack is alternative run lines. So just like this game for sake, if you were to go and flip the script on this game and you believe that the Braves are going to snap this 4-game losing streak, you take them an alternative run line. So you take them to win by -1.5 runs. These odds will go from anywhere from +200 to +350. So you can literally take $100 wager and hit a 1 to 3.5 risk to reward on that play. So there's a lot of value that people don't see, and you have to be sharp early out on the season when it comes to situations like that. But when it comes to my rules with money line plays, I won't go anything over a -170 when it comes to the NHL. I like the Leafs. Yeah, a couple days ago, I took them on the money line -170, but that's about as far as I'm going to go. When it comes to baseball, you won't see me going anything over -145. I will not touch it.
Yeah, I mean, here's what happens, and this is why, and I don't want to get off my soapbox, but it is. This is what people need to know. What square bettors, and that means the public, is if you go up there, and what happens is they take the -200s. And I was in the night of the Dodgers opening game, which they did not cover the run line, by the way. And Alabama was rolling that night. So I'm in the sportsbook at MGM Grand, and everybody's on the Dodgers. And you know what? They got them parlayed. Yeah. So it's like the parlay killer, because she's like, oh, now it takes an even money, a -110 wager on Alabama, let's say, and the Dodgers. Now you lose because you're trying to get an extra 20 cents for every dollar you bet. So be careful. There's just not enough value there. You're not going to win 80% of those bets, which is basically what you have to hit if you're paying over -200. And you're just not going to. The teams don't win 80% of games. So just think about that. It only takes one bad game. I will say there's a little value. And in hockey right now, the new trendy bet is the regulation 60-minute line.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing for a home favorite. You can be no bat ninth inning, which means that the team at home has to win. If it goes to extra innings, you lose, obviously. But you're getting so if it's a -190 favorite, you might get them -135, -140. So it's kind of the hidden value if you like home favorites, that is. So, and you can play it the opposite way, obviously, as well. You can always do that. If you like the road team, you could say bat the ninth inning if it's a road favorite. Just a few notes. All right, let's. I don't really love anything in Major League Baseball, so I'm not forcing it. Let's go talk this little college basketball tonight. The crown, we don't know. This is the first year of this. They did basically take all the teams that will travel, which Vegas is smart. They want to fill their hotels. They want to fill I'm sure they got it's on TV tonight, and they're like, hey, we're going to play teams that matter. Some of these teams would have been in the NIT, like Boise State, probably Nebraska, probably Cincinnati. That's going to be up tomorrow. But is there one of these games tonight that maybe you like, Nick? They start at, I think, 3:00 Eastern Standard Time is the opening game.
Yeah, let's look at the late game, and hopefully I pronounced this right because I was getting absolutely ripped apart. I'd say Georgetown. It's Georgetown. So we got Georgetown taking on Washington State here. Georgetown finished 17-15 on the season, 7th in the Big East, while Washington State 19-14. They finished 6th in the West Coast. Georgetown lost their last game in the Big East tournament against DePaul, I should say, 71-67. They haven't played since March 12th, while Washington, they lost to San Francisco by 11 in the conference tournament on March 8th. To say the least, both of these teams had a lot of time off here, and you have to be careful with especially these type of tournaments. You got to double check if anybody has hit the transfer portal. Some guys might not be playing or they're already in that transfer portal, but this Washington State team, they are currently 31st in the country in pace of play. Georgetown likes to slow the game down. My concern is I think this Washington State takes an early lead. Georgetown's going to try to play keep up here. I would take the points in my back pocket with Washington State +3.5. I'm seeing +4.5. And we'll see how it goes here in this Crown tournament. But I would take the points with Washington State. I love their pace of play against Georgetown tonight, Craig.
Georgetown. He can't help himself. He keeps.
I can't. I can't get it right. I went to school on the East Coast. Georgetown.
Ed Cooley. Everybody kind of killed Ed Cooley for going in conference and, going to Georgetown. And, they had an unbelievable year. I think it was 9-0 to start out, 10-0. start to the year, I should say. They had a great start to the year. And then, man, they fell apart. But, Washington State is a, team without a conference this year. So they were like all over the place who they're playing. I think you take Georgetown here. I think the Big East was kind of a little better than people thought. Not a lot, but I think just enough. And I think Georgetown uses this as a nice recruiting tool. And I think they get the win and cover in this one. So I kind of like the free play on Georgetown. Is there one that maybe you had circled, Griffin, if any of these?
I don't love any of these games, Craig, but I'm going to just go right off the top. Give me ASU plus 5.5. They're going into Las Vegas. Very quick trip for them. Nothing crazy. Nebraska's got to fly all the way out from Nebraska to play in this matchup. So there's already a benefit in that aspect. On top of that, when it comes to pace of play, ASU absolutely dominates when it comes to pace. They run up and down the court, up and down the court. Nebraska, not so much by any means. Nebraska also is horrendous on the road. All they can do is win games at home. So they don't play good on the road by any means. I like the team with short travel and peskier when it comes to speed and tempo. Give me the points here with ASU in this one, Craig.
I'm guessing, though, Nebraska will be 2-1 on fans in this one, though. They travel really well for, first of all, shout out to Tony George, Nebraska guy. But, there is nothing else to do in Nebraska this time of year. It's the middle of nowhere. It's not nowhere. Dude, excuse to go to Vegas. Arizona, dude, these guys are golfing. They do not care about Danny Hurley out there. Or is it Danny or the Hurley coach? They don't care about him. And, to me, I think Nebraska rolls in this one because Hoiberg he's done a better job than people give him credit for. He really has. There. Nebraska is not like it's all about football there. So I think he's kind of made them relevant. Now, it's not like what he did at Iowa State, of course, before he left to go to the Bulls. But I like his, his motivational style. I think they'll be up to play. And I'm not sure. I thought maybe they'd get rid of Hurley, to be very honest. I was kind of surprised they haven't. So, just so you know, people, I think, asked earlier, the Utah coach was fired in season. So that job, that coach has been fired a long time ago. So it's not like that happened just recently. I believe they played the last 5 or 6 games plus the tournament without their coach. So I wouldn't hold that one way or the other if you're playing the Utah game. It's not like they fired their coach since the season was over. So.
Correct. Since we're on opposite sides in this one, do you see any value in the total in this game at 154.5?
I stayed away from all the totals in this game, and I'm looking to see what happens because we've never seen teams ever this is bowl season type stuff where you have 3 weeks off between your last game.
Right.
Is that going to be offense, defense? I don't know. There's nothing to compare it to. So going out there and trying to play a total, if you had insight on these teams, you're like, hey, on practice, they've been lighting it up. Okay, maybe. But I have no insight on how this game is going to be played. Is this going to be favor the defenses and offenses? I would treat this as the first game of the season. Usually first game of the season, I think it's a little lower scoring. I just think there's going to be a little rust. But, it's not really because you didn't have 6 months off. So
people want to know pay for the steak.
I'm going to be honest.
We didn't
have to pay for any steaks.
We got a cabana instead of rally.
We basically didn't eat. It was we were just like finger food. Everywhere we went, we did
lobster corn dogs, baby.
Oh,
at
so
Stadium
good.
Swim,
yeah.
lobster corn dogs. If anyone ever goes,
we did go to the Griffin, which he doesn't own the bar, but it's downtown. If you ever
do now.
Caviar on top of the deviled eggs, crazy. And then we where else? And then we ate a Stadium Swim, and then we went out to our boss's house. Shout out to Wade, and had these boys caught redfish. Remember when they were out to New Orleans? We ate the redfish they caught, and it was
incredible.
Wade
was in the kitchen, baby.
Yeah, he was. So let's talk just on the way out. Let's just give them. Let's just one of you. Did one of you guys have an NHL play that they can at least sprinkle in?
I'm on all 4 games. Nick, you got it?
Yeah, let's do it. We got the Nashville Predators and the Flyers here. Predators, 2-game losing streak. Flyers, 2-game winning streak. This Nashville Predators team is a falling knife on the road, 9-22. Do not try to grab it here. Going to keep it simple as simple could be here. The Flyers 7-4 in their last game over the Sabres. They're going to keep on keeping it on here. I like the Flyers to win against Nashville Predators at home tonight, Craig.
It's nice little I thought it was a nice little card. Like I said, I have a 7-unit play, not on this game. I thought it was kind of like a hidden, sometimes when I see those really short cards in the NHL, I just stay away because it's you're getting a lot more action on games that probably should not have action just because there's no games. Now it does help this time of year when we get baseball. So we get in 10 to 15 games every day. So now it kind of spreads out like where people are paying attention to. But, usually, I just say usually because it's always different, but like a small card in NHL for me means stay away. But all right, so there we have it. Don't forget DocSports.com/free60. If you're a new customer, go over there and get the free 60. If you're an existing user, don't forget, get in on. I do have a 7-unit play tonight, and you can get 10% off. Flash that on the screen. I think it was APR 10. Saves you 10% off, and that's good all week long. And that's good on, I believe, all the passes as well. So get in on this is a good time of year to buy the baseball pass. I think it's $750 for the year, and that will get you all the way through the playoffs. So that's 6 months of plays. By far the most plays of any sport. NBA would be right up there, but NBA, like when you're buying the season passes, you're getting them for like $1 a play, basically. So make sure you check that out. Go over to that, and you can use the free 60 towards it as well. Don't forget about the Premium Plus. I might not have mentioned it. You can get the Premium Plus. You'll get 3 plays from our Doc Sports experts, plus the Indian Cowboy Level 1, and that's for a month of plays. So make sure you get in on that. Go to the link in the description to get in. All right, guys, have a great day. Hope everybody will recover. Like I said, one of these days when we have a slow day, we'll tell you about it, but you can go to our YouTube page, go to the shorts, and check out the little celebration we had when we hit the nice big parlay that paid not only paid for the cabana, which was ridiculous for what they get up for those cabanas. For a Midwest guy, that's crazy. I think that anybody spends that. But anyway, and we had enough had money to go win on a huge run on the craps table.
Craig rolling, baby. So. Craig rolling, baby.
Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again on Tuesday.